Alright, here I have the Eachine Sphere Link power supply from my airplane. Those are connecting to the battery leads for a 3S LiPo. And here's the UART connection going to the HD video port in my SpeedyBee F405 Wing Mini flight controller. The HD connection is down there. If you look at the manual, it will tell you. I am connecting to INAV right now. It is connected. If I move the plane, you see that it's moving. Now I go to ports. I have on UART 5, as the SpeedyBee manual says, I will activate MSP display port. I will save and reboot. I will turn off the power supply. The flight controller is booting again. Okay, now if you go to ports, you will see that MSP display port is selected in UART 5. Let me reactivate the power. Now, if I go to OSD, and then select video format as HD0, save. Now the settings are saved. Okay, so I disconnect from here, and here's my video receiver. Here's my Android phone that was charging. Okay, Android phone, where I have the Pixel Pilot app. Let me connect the video receiver to my Android phone. Pixel Pilot app starts. Power is there. So there is video, but no OSD. It says waiting for data on that port. There's video, no OSD. So now I am disconnecting my USB-C cable from the flight controller that was going into my computer for INAV. Now I will connect this to the programmer board here for the camera. And there's an Ethernet cable that I have connected to that programmer board. And I am connecting that Ethernet port to my computer. And let me close INAV. I have OpenIPC configurator pulled up here. Let me actually restart this. There's my OpenIPC configurator. Start. Sometimes it shows green, sometimes it doesn't. And I don't know why. Maybe I should power it off. Disconnect. Retry. Power on. Connect. This is what I set yesterday. Yesterday this was going green. Today it's not even going green. Maybe I don't know what's up. Okay, now it went green. So I can connect. Okay. Enter. It connects. Setup. I pick the suggested firmware version in the manual that came with this. I do update camera. Okay, this is what it says. Enter. So it says 51% complete, fatal error, network error, software caused connection abort, erasing. Okay. Press any key to continue. Enter. So I don't know if that worked or not. There is still no OSD in my phone. The other thing that I tried was PuTTY. So I know that this COM is COM port number 6, because if I go to my device manager, in ports it says COM 6 over here. Okay, so I know that the serial COM port is number 6. The speed is 115200. Okay, open. And click here, enter. Nothing is happening. Yesterday I reached a part where it said welcome to OpenIPC. Nothing is happening. Still no OSD. I don't know if this says it's bricked or something. Okay, now try restarting the session with PuTTY. PuTTY serial COM number 6 115200. Enter. Nothing. Maybe I should exit. I'll try rebooting. Close PuTTY. Nothing is happening. All right. Let me close this. Nothing. Actually, let me, before I retry, let me power off, disconnect, start PuTTY. Okay. Six. 00, and then powered it on. Connect this to COM port 6. Device manager still shows COM port 6. Okay. Open. Nothing. All right, there we go. It's saying temperature check. Excuse me. And it's stopped there. Okay, now it's moving on. And it goes into this panic loop where it keeps rebooting and rebooting and rebooting. And by the way, while this is happening, if I go to a browser, and if I go to 192.168.1.10, hit enter. Okay, it says connection interrupted. Yesterday it was going to a web version of configurator. I still have no OSD, by the way. I think it's just going in a loop. Temperature check. It's in a reboot cycle. Sometimes it asks for my username and password. I have both my Ethernet cable connected to the programmer board as well as the USB that's connected to the camera right there, which probably is getting super hot right now. And then there's the VTX. Yeah, it's doing this. If it ever stops, I will stop the video right there, and if it ever stops, I will start recording again. Okay, so it hasn't stopped yet in PuTTY. It's still going on, but I was able to hit enter again in this 192.168.1.10 that I configured, and it's led me to this web configurator, I guess. I have named it root. I have set my password. I don't know what things you can do here. I'm just unfamiliar, and there's no instructions anywhere about this. Nothing came in the manual, and again, it sometimes connects, sometimes it doesn't. Depends on what phase PuTTY is in, I guess. Yesterday it asked me the username, I put in the password. It wasn't doing this for a while, so this was working fine for a bit, but then I don't know. It's very frustrating. Okay, there we go. Something happened here. So configuration, firmware, interface, update, tools. Maybe I'll do update, firmware update. It says you must set your own secure password. Okay. Yesterday I just set 1, 2, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. Save that. Connection was interrupted. Yay. I think it really depends upon what phase this buddy is in. It may or may not work. Save changes. Okay, password is updated. It says MAC address is a placeholder. You need to replace with the original MAC address from your stock firmware backup, or generate a random valid MAC address. I'll generate a random valid MAC address and then change the MAC address. Sure. Let's see if this will do any trick. Nope, connection was interrupted. Change MAC address. Okay. Let's see. Gosh, this is so frustrating. Nope. So that doesn't work. Okay. Let me try updating anything from here if it ever goes to any other page. Nope. So it's basically, I think the connection is constantly being disrupted because this thing is panicking. It's not stabilized anywhere. If it had gone to asking me the username, password, showed me a prompt, stayed there, the connection would have been stable. I don't know what happens if I disconnect the Ethernet cable. Let's see. Stopping. System reboot. Nothing, I guess, because I'm communicating via the COM port. And I think this panic is happening either there or there, but the system itself, and it never wants to completely stabilize. It's just panicking, rebooting for some reason. The voltage is stable. I'm not running out of battery because I'm actually using a DC power supply. That's 12 volts, and using a switch that's coming here. So it's equivalent of using a 3S LiPo battery. Okay. I just don't want to run out of LiPo battery testing this for like an hour or so. So I went this route. Yeah, no change. All right. Without this putty running, this will not work. Yeah, I don't know. Tools, console. Let's see if the console works here. I doubt it'll go anywhere. Nope. Yeah. All right, so this whole thing is no help. Okay. So I guess I'll just close it. Just trying to watch some YouTube videos and learn something, but nope. Doesn't work the way they show it in other videos. Yeah, so, and I guess for this to work, Ethernet is detached, so it's not going to show green. But if I connect, still noise by the way. If I connect Ethernet cable and wait, let's see if it turns green. Sometimes if I change a digit, does the trick. One more thing I learned, and this is all ChatGPT teaching me all this yesterday as I struggled, is if I do a ping command and the IP address that I set for that device, 192.168.1.10, I do get replies, okay? I do get replies. So definitely some communication is happening here, but I can't tell it to, hey, stop panicking, remain static, this is your setting. It's not happening for some reason. Okay, this is not green yet. I think the trick is to restart the system. So power off, disconnect. I'll leave the Ethernet connected, power back on. And honestly, I think for this to work, you don't even need the COM port. You just need the Ethernet connection. Let's see if I'm right. Maybe you're wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay. Yes, no, nothing. YAML file. YAML file. This is really, really frustrating, honestly. Nothing. This has to go green for me to be able to connect, okay? It's not green. Gosh, I don't know what to do from here. Sometimes it goes green for the same exact things. Sometimes it doesn't. I have no clue what's going on. Maybe if I hit restart. Nothing. Nothing at all. Black screen, alright. Maybe if I delete up to 1 and then go to, alright, quit. No, 10. Nope. So, there we are. I've got no INAV OSD here. And actually, camera is frozen too. So, I don't know what's going on. And just as a proof that my connections here work, I am using a Voxnail Moonlight kit here connected in the same UART port. So I have UART connections here. Voxnail also needs a power supply, so I have a separate power supply connected there. Here's my Voxnail Goggles X. And you can see that the INAV OSD is there. Okay, same settings in INAV. I haven't touched INAV, and I can show you. Now I've connected the USB to my flight controller. Let me start INAV. Direct COM port there. So it's connected. So ports, MSB display port, port 5. OSD. HD0. It also works with Avatar, but HD0 also works. Okay. Yeah. So I don't know what's going on. If you can provide any help with this Eachine Sphere Link OpenIPC camera NVTX, please let me know.